Hi, today I want to share with you some of the gear which we use in our VW short wheelbase transporter. Obviously space is at a premium, so we try and keep our equipment small while also giving us the maximum comfort, the best bang for your buck as it were. I'll start off with the cooking equipment. First off, we have a trangia just here. It packs up very small. This is the frying pan. You get one handle with a trangia, but you can buy other handles separately. And the way that works is it just clips on and you can use it. So it's one handle for each of your pots. So with this trangia, we have two pots. Well used, as you can see. I think it's about time we replaced them. So this is the windshield on the trangia. You can see inside it's got little metal bits here. This particular trangia has been converted so that it can be used with a gas bottle. So we would use usually this size here, or occasionally sometimes this size here. So there's been a hole cut in the side of it to run the pipe through. The gas unit just fits in the top here. This gets connected up to the gas bottle and away you go. Here's your thing for controlling the flow of the gas, and away you go with your cooking. So this fits on the top. If you're using a saucepan, you want these bits down, so you just drop your saucepan on like that. If you're using a frying pan, you would put these bits up, obviously before you've lit it, and your frying pan sits on there like that. You can also use it with other frying pans, it doesn't have to be the Trangia's one. So that's our first burner that we use. We like to have two burners available because quite often one pot cooking can be quite restrictive. So just put the trangia to one side. This little bag here nests inside one of the pots, and it contains all your washing up bits and bobs. So we don't ever take a big bottle of washing up liquid away with us. We'll take a couple of little bottles in a plastic bag, and then it's all ready. So there's our little bottle. I think it was a travel size shampoo bottle at one point. But if we do get little bottles, we do tend to save them and use them when we go camping. We never take big bottles of stuff with us. Let's see what else we've got in here. Oh, empty. All right, we've got some spare rubbish bags, bottle opener, Swiss Army knife, sharp knife, not sure what that is, stews bits and pieces, and a lighter for lighting it, and the trangia handle goes there as well. So that all fits in together inside the trangia and works quite well. So that's our first gas burner for using outside. I'll pop that to one side. If anyone wants me to do a full review on this, I'm quite happy to do so. Just drop me a note in the comments and I'll do that in a future video. Our second gas burner lives inside this cup when it's in the van. It's this little Sotto Windmaster, which is an absolutely awesome bit of kit. So there, so you can see size-wise with our mug. Always like to have things nesting within the van if at all possible, so the space within the mug is taken up by the Sotto Windmaster. So these things are quite cheap, you can get them on Amazon. These are ideal if you want to go hiking or something like that, because they weigh next to nothing, to be fair. So you've just got a little bag to keep it all in. So this is the little bit that attaches onto your gas bottle. This is the bit for controlling the gas. You can see you've got a little ignition thing there. The gas comes out the holes at the top, and it's called a Windmaster because it's got this ridge around the top of it, which really helps stop the gas blowing out, and also means that you're getting the most out of your gas usage. There we go. Right, so that just screws onto the gas bottle like that. Or you could use a little gas bottle if you wanted. These have got wings which fold out as pot supports, so you would rest your pot there. This bit here effectively works like a pair of scissors. I don't know how well you can see that in the camera. So what you're trying to do is get the middle section around the middle section here, and these looping over the top here. And it's very, very easy to do, she says. There we go. There we are. Just make sure that is nice and sturdy. There, so you can see that set up now. So you've got your pot supports there. So here's our Soto Windmaster all set up. You can use any pan or frying pan with it. This is our little kitchen equipment holder which we use in the van. I'll just turn this round so you can get a better view. We've got quite a tall area, which is why we use what I'm guessing is a magazine holder or a book holder, but it works great for holding things like plates and frying pans and things all together, so that it's not taking up a huge amount of space within your shelf. So our frying pan is here. I was talking about nesting earlier. You can see our plates fit beautifully in this. You can see there's a bit of a bulge on the back of the plates, but we take advantage and put those in there, so the plates live in there. This particular frying pan has got a fold down handle. We would never use anything that has got a rigid and fixed handle. All our handles are removable on our saucepans and our frying pans. That's it. I was pushing the thing the wrong way. That's it, and it locks down that way. So that fits on there quite happily. This is 24 centimetres, so you can see it's quite stable, and it gives you a good amount of room to be able to cook whatever you want to. So despite the burner being very small, it's more than capable of taking a decent sized pan on top of it. So this is one of the frying pans that we use. We tend not to use the Trangia frying pan as it's not very non-stick. This is a Primus frying pan, and it's been very good. Handle just folds down like that and sits on the bottom. And there we go. So those nest together. This is probably the only thing I've got that hasn't got a removable handle, but it's a splatter guard and it fits the pan perfectly. So it doesn't really take up a lot of room because it sits at the back within its little caddy. So it's right against the back of the cupboard. So it's not really taking a lot of room up. The other thing that's useful with these tool caddies is the fact that you can put tool utensils in, things like a spatula. This is what we use for a cheese grater rather than one of those big box ones. And we have a set of tiny tongs here as well, which also lives in this caddy. along with the inevitable ridge monkey. I think most people have a ridge monkey. I think they're an absolutely brilliant bit of kit, to be honest. I'll just show you quickly. I'm sure there are plenty of reviews on ridge monkeys around the place. So this is our ridge monkey. I'll just move that out of the way. So it comes with handles and a little set of utensils in the back. I've never used the utensils, to be honest. The handles just come out and they slip on. You've got 2 magnets here, so that when it's shut, it is shut properly. So the handles fit on like that. And you put your sausages and your bacon or whatever in there, then it clips together, just goes together with the magnets, and you can cook your stuff nice and easily without it getting all splattery, so you don't need the splatter guard. If you want to use the ridge monkey on something little like the Sotto Windmaster, it's absolutely fine. It's quite sturdy on there, even set up on a rickety old pasting table. The other good thing about the ridge monkey is if you get it at a 45-degree angle, it does split into 2. So if you wanted to use 2 separate frying pans, you could do. So you've got a lot of versatility there. And it just goes back the same way it came apart, 45 degrees. And there we go. So, and that all goes together and lives in its little box with us. Another thing we find very, very useful in our VW are these little hooks. They don't cost much at all, again available from Amazon, and these just hook around the metal bit of the headrests on the driver and also the passenger seat, and they're great for enabling you to put things like coats on the back of the chairs without them sliding off, or you can put bags or whatever else you want to. Just little plastic things, don't damage the headrest or the seats in any way. Absolutely worth their weight in gold. As I said earlier, we tend to use things that nest all the time. We have 2 cups in the van because there's 2 of us travelling. So one has got the Sotto Windmaster in it. The other cup has got what we use for wine glasses or general drink glasses. So we've got 2 stainless steel mugs here, and that's what we use. We have a little neoprene sleeve which they sit in so that they don't rattle around when you're driving. Like I say, everything nests where we can get it to nest. Talking of which, everybody has collapsible bits and pieces. We have a collapsible bin which we tend to put outside the van if we're on a campsite. Obviously if we're on a park up, we'll have it inside the van. But it's very important to get a bin with a lid if you're putting it outside. And I think also if it's inside the van, you don't really want smells and things permeating your van. So this works really well for us. And our other collapsible little item, which I think most people have, is the washing up bowl, which works really well for all your bits and pieces, and collapses down just as easily as it went together. So those are our collapsible bits and pieces, easily available, worth their weight in gold. While we're still on the topic of cups and things like that, I'll show you what we use for making coffee. So we have the cup. This is also made by Sotto, spelt S-O-T-O, so it's the same make as the little burner. Comes in its own little bag. And it all fits together. It's a bit fiddly to undo. Stu usually makes the coffee. But there we go. So it's just like a little spring thing that folds up literally just by popping its legs through the springs. So you can see it takes next to no space in your van whatsoever. That just sits on your cup. Use a coffee filter. I think I've got two out there. Use a coffee filter. Just the little ones. Pop your filter in there, pop your coffee in there, and just put your water through. It normally takes about three to four filters through to get a completely full cup of coffee. But I find they're really good, take up next to no space at all. What else have we got that's kitchen related? Ah yes, kettle. A lot of people like the collapsible kettles. We have got a collapsible electric kettle. Which is here. Let's just fill. It's something like about 600 watts, and it does turn itself off automatically. But it does take a while, so it will boil quite some time before turning itself off, but it gets there eventually. Takes about 5 minutes to boil a full kettle full of water if you're using hookup or a power bank. When we're using gas, we use one of these. Just the handle folds down, so that when you're packing in your cupboard, you've not got the handle stopping you putting stuff on top of it, and it does have a whistle, which we particularly liked. So we thought having a whistle was better than having a fold down kettle. So we use that. The other thing I like in the kitchen are these two chopping boards. They're absolutely dinky, as you can see, and I got these in the middle aisle of Lidl. I think you can probably tell where I shop. Yes, Lidl. Middle aisle of Lidl. Absolutely ideal. Especially as you don't want to take too much in the way of chopping boards away with you, and you can use one for vegetables and one for meat. Drop those there. Right. For those of you that don't know, this is a bivy loo. Much smaller than the Thetford Porta Potty 335, which is, I believe, the porta potty of choice for the VW community. We do have one, but we don't use it. It's too big to take away, basically. It takes up too much room. We use a porta potty only when we're not actually on a campsite. So if we're just at a park up, we'll use this. I'll get it all out for you. I'm not going to do the full demonstration of it, as I'm sure you can work out how it works. That's the fact that it folds up so nice and small, just fits in your boot. Obviously, if you're parked up somewhere, you would want to get it out before you go to bed. Doesn't come automatically with a lid. You do have to purchase the lid separately if you want it. This it's got a little zip here, and it's got big metal struts here, so we're not talking about sitting on a plastic bucket or anything like that. It is quite sturdy, and these metal struts snap into place very well. So you are left with something this size, which is quite small, but it's more than sufficient. Even I can't do a wee enough to fill one of these up. The way it works, and I have a little bag with all the bits and bobs in. So we've got black bags. I would tend to double bag just as a matter of precaution. So bags in here, double bag, fold your bag over the top, and you just sit on the bag, do your business in there. We would take some wooden cat litter pellets with us. I find they work the best. When you do buy this bivy loo, you do get given some sachets which are supposed to soak up the wee, I don't know how much wee normal people do, but one of these sachets with my wee in the bottom of the bag, you may as well not bother. So we use wooden cat litter. Works very well indeed, and you can just bag it all up securely. It gets all absorbed, all your wee or whatever gets absorbed by the cat litter, and it's fine. You can just dispose of it appropriately, not under a bush. That kind of defeats the object. So this is very sturdy indeed. You have to go you can see there the struts automatically snap. You have to undo the sides and work to actually keep the straps from snapping back. So there's no danger of it actually collapsing on you when you are sitting on it. It's quite, as you can see, it's quite hard to fold up. So yeah, I'll do that later. But as you can see, there's absolutely no danger of it folding up on you when you're sat on your throne doing your business. As I say, we like the fact that it folds up so nice, neat and tidy. It's got its own little bag. And you're dealing with your waste products pretty much immediately as well. They're not sitting there like they might be if you had a Thetford cassette. And plus the amount of room that the Thetford takes up is just ridiculous in a small short wheelbase V-dub. I know people put covers over them and use them as extra tables and this, that and the other, but no, sorry. I like my waste dealt with and gone. I don't like it potentially hanging around. So yeah, Thetford porta potty and a V-dub is not for me. We much prefer the bivy loo. The other thing we always do when we go away is we use the microfiber travel towels. We don't use the big heavy cotton towels. They don't dry. These dry really quickly. They're more than big enough to give you a good dry in the shower. No problem at all, and they dry out really, really quickly. We also bring a smaller hand towel sized one, which is great if you do have condensation in the winter on your windows. This wipes it off really quickly, much better than a bit of kitchen roll, and dries out quite quick as well. Oh, while we're on the topic of toiletries, I've got this little fella here which is called a whizzer. If you're caught short, it's very, very useful. It's a bit fiddly to set up, but basically you've got rubber struts there that fit into the holes here. So you've got a funnel, and for us ladies, even I can get my wee in there if I need to. That just sits on the top there like that. It's got 500ml capacity. So you do your bits and pieces. Once you've done, you just take that out, being very careful not to squash the bottle. And then you can just pop the lid on and then dispose of it when you need to. So that's very helpful if you're caught short and you haven't got the big porta potty with you. Or should I say, you haven't got the big bivy loo handy. If you're absolutely desperate, you can't find a toilet, you just need to go in the back of the van, the whizzer is your friend. This is an absolutely brilliant little bit of kit. This is made by OXO, that's OXO, and it's just a little dustpan and brush, but it's quite a stiff one. It works really, really well and takes up next to no space. You can clip the brush in so that it doesn't fall out. Really good, really like that. If getting down on your hands and knees with the dustpan and brush isn't your thing, and I have to say I'm 61 now, so it's starting to not be my thing, but I still do it on occasion. We have this little Fantic vacuum cleaner, which is a fairly recent purchase, and I have to say I'm really pleased with it. It works much better than I thought it would do. I'm not going to do a full review on this. You get quite a few bits and bobs of equipment in here. So you've got like a crevice tool, You've got various bits you just literally slot on the end here. I just pull off. It's just brute force, it's nothing exciting. This is the one that we tend to use, which is the rubber bristled brush for the carpet, which works really well. You've got a couple of modes on it, so you've got regular and you've got boost. So if you've got a lot of muck on your carpet, it gets it up quite quickly. So I'm not going to go through in great detail with this. Again, if anyone wants me to do a full review on this particular vacuum cleaner, I'm more than happy to do so. Just drop me a note in the comments and I will oblige. But I have to say it's an absolutely brilliant bit of kit. So that is made by Fantic, and all its bits come in a nice little bag. So all your stuff is together. And it's rechargeable by USB, which is great. To the end now. What else have we got in here? Head torch. Absolutely essential bit of kit, your head torch. Can be used obviously hands-free, but ideal if you're on a campsite and you need to go outside to visit the loo. This particular one has got a red beam as well. So if you're wanting to get up in the middle of the night and not wake your partner, the red beam is your friend. This knife is in the bag to remind me to tell you about the metallic bar which we have on the inside of our cupboard, which is used to hold all the sharp knives attached to it. It's magnetic and absolutely worth its weight in gold. Takes up no space in the cupboard whatsoever, and it means that all your sharp knives are out of your drawers, so you're not going to catch your fingers on them, and it holds them all nice and safely, and you know just where to put your hands on them when you want to be chopping your veg up. So we find that works really well. I've got a fold-up mirror just because I'm female. There's my little mirror. That's it. One other thing I use in the van are these fabric storage boxes. Now these came from IKEA. They come in a set of 6 and you have 3 sizes. The way they work, I'll just put that out of the way because it's going to blow away. The way they work is you've got zips on the bottom. So to make it sturdy, you just do the zip up with your fingers and get your fingers out of the way, and there we are. So that's the first size. That's the small size. This is the large size, but we find this is too big to fit in the van anywhere usefully, but it may fit in your van, but it's handy to have at home. And this is the medium size, which to be honest is the best size. Sadly, they do come in packs of 3, so you can't just pick the size you want. But the thing that we find with these that is really good, rather than using the rigid plastic, whereas this doesn't really flex much, with this, if it's a bit of a tight squeeze, you can just move it in slightly and it will fit. Likewise, if you've got a lot of stuff in there, as you can see that we have, you can see that the side will just bulge out slightly to accommodate. So we find those really, really useful. Worth their weight in gold. You can put all your bits and pieces in, and plus if you're not using them and you think you may be using them, you can just put them down to next to nothing and they take up no space whatsoever, which is really helpful. I think that just about concludes all our space saving bits and pieces. This is what we use in our van, the bits of kit that we like. Let us know what you think. What do you like? What gadgets or things do you use that I haven't mentioned that you swear by? Do let us know in the comments. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, please give us a like and of course subscribe to our new channel. We'd be very grateful. Thank you.